everybody? This is Chody Grows. Hope everyone's having a great day. I am here to unbox and review my new Mocha Puffco Pivot portable vaporizer, as well as my new, cool color Puffco loading tool. And this is my second pivot. I do have the slate blue, I believe it was called. Love it, absolutely love it. And I ended up getting this one because their 420 sale was great, but I really like the aesthetic value, I guess, of the mocha colored one. I like to sometimes get limited edition ones myself. So, I've already had a lot of experience with this, but I wanted to do a proper unboxing for this, the hot knife, and the case, the travel case for the pivot, which I've had for a while. I actually got it when I got my first pivot. So I just want to say one thing before we get into this. If you're gonna spend money on something like this retails for $130. Obviously it was cheaper. This is $50. Pricey, but not bad. I also have the Peak Pro 2, and this is a little pricey as well. Don't spend that much money on something if you're not gonna maintain it and keep it clean. I see so many people, Puffco is not worth it because I used it for X amount of time and it doesn't work anymore, and da-da-da-da-da. And then they share pictures of it and the chamber's all black, it's gunked up. You ask them when they last cleaned it and they were like, oh, I've never cleaned it, but I've had it for 6 months. If you take care of your Puffco stuff, as you should, you're not gonna have any issues with that. I think a lot of people worry about that, and I've been using Puffco vaporizers since their first one came out. And if you're gonna spend the money on it, why would you not want to maintain it? So I'm gonna also talk about what Puffco recommends for maintenance and cleaning, and what I personally do as well. And I'm also going to get into a little bit of just a review on the travel case here, because it's something that I've had, that I got when I got my original slate pivot. So with that being said, let's get into it. First, we're going to open up the Mocha Pivot, and this is a portable vape, rechargeable. By the way, there is plastic wrapping that goes around these. I just took it off. If you ever get one that doesn't have that plastic wrapping around it, you should be suspect. That would be not good. So I would contact Puffco if that was the case. And if you're gonna use a dealer, by the way, make sure you use a Puffco authorized dealer, because if something happens and they're not really a Puffco authorized dealer, then you're kind of asked out. So let's get into it. Here's the pivot. The box is really nice. This is the first thing that you see. Enter here. Okay, so this looks like it's a control. Let's see. Oh, it's the manual. That's right. It's a manual as well as just some electrical stuff and warranty info. So basically this is what it looks like. It tells you basically how to turn it on, how to load it, how to change the temp, things like that. How to check the battery, how to charge the battery, and how to clean it. But I like to travel with my pivot because that's what it's made for. This thing's not the best for traveling with, though I have. So this makes it much easier. However, I don't want to carry this in case I forget something. So what I did is I cut this out from my last one and I put it right on the top here. So that way I can just scan it if I have any issues or questions or I forget something. We're gonna get into that later though. So just a little tip. So that's what's in there. And now actually the next thing that we have is the actual device itself. Well, it's really nice. I like the colors. Let's take it out. Oh man, that's nice. So I love the kind of matte finish. It feels like nice and heavy and strong. And then this cover on one side, it says inhale gently. They tell you to sip it and keep it upright. And we'll get into why that is in a few minutes. But you kind of peel it off here and take this off. So, it's off. So, here's the Mocha Puffco pivot. This is the mouthpiece and a vent, which opens up to the chamber, which is replaceable. It's ceramic. It is awesome. It's small, but it's big enough to do the job, basically. But don't be putting giant dabs in here because it will end up like clogging the vent here, and you'll just have issues with it. It'll be all sticky around here, and it's just not a good idea. So, like I said, you can get replaceable chambers for this. This disconnects from here. This is the battery unit, and this is the mouthpiece with the chamber in it. It's a nice, strong rubber. You know, I will clean these probably like once a month, depending on how much I'm using it. And just don't overload it, and take slow kind of sips is what they say. I find that it works a little better. Depending on what you're dabbing, you can adjust the temperature to whatever you'd like. I personally value flavor more over a big cloud of smoke, so I keep mine at a low temp because what I'm dabbing is my hash rosin that I make. So that's all about flavor. And this thing actually preserve that. But this basically, this is the power button here. Let's see, I wonder if you hold it down for 2 seconds, it'll power down, you'll feel it. I just want to give everybody a tip. When you have this in your pocket, if you're carrying it in your pocket and not in the carrying case, I think it's a good idea to turn it off while it's in your pocket instead of leaving it on, just in case you kind of hit this button and start to feel some warmth in your pocket. That's because you didn't lock this. So right now or not lock, but turn it off. So right now it's off, and I'm going to show you guys how to turn it on. Hold it down for 3 seconds, I'm sorry, and it'll turn down. So they have 4 different heat settings, and they're color coded. I'm going to cycle through to the beginning. This is the lowest temp, and it's blue. So I will use this. I prefer low temp dabs. It's kind of a preference. This is green, so you press this button once to cycle between them. I usually will use the green, and as I keep going, the red, it's even hotter, and then you got the white, that's the hottest setting. I rarely use it. I don't think I ever do. Like I said, you just click the button once and you cycle through all the temps. Like, my favorite setting is the green or the blue, but you know, it's personal preference. They work great either way. So basically, when you're ready to take your dab, you're gonna load it in with the loading tool, which I'm gonna review and unbox in a second. Like I said, just don't overload it. And when you're ready to hit it, you just have to click this power button twice quickly. 1, 2, and now it's green and it's heating up. And it vibrates also, and when it's done heating up, you'll feel it vibrate again. Then can hit it. I don't have any concentrate in it right now, but yeah, I turned it off because there's nothing in there to hit. So to check the battery, and I'm going to show you the charger in a second when we get into here, you basically click this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. If it's green, that means it's full. If it's orange, that means it's about halfway charged. But if it's red, that means it's about to die. I'll charge it before I leave the house. It's USB-C. And I'm gonna open up and see what else we got in here. I think there is a charger. So this thing here, remove this. And then inside we have, it looks like a charger. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, the loading tool's great. Charger. We got some Q-tips, pointy end and round. The USB-C charger. Oh, the outside of it fell off, but anyways, I have a zip tie. And then the Puffco loading tool, which I actually really like. So like I said, it's USB-C, and when you're ready to charge it, you just remove this little piece, just kind of pull it out, and that's where you'll plug it in right there. Okay, and when it's fully charged, the light will turn off, but it will be on when you're charging it. So with that being said, I love this thing. It's extremely portable. Just make sure you maintain it. They recommend just swabbing it out after each use, which I do anyways, but I'd say depending on how much I smoke or how many dabs I'm taking, I will clean it out, do a deep clean on it. I'll disconnect this, I'll pull the chamber out. The chamber is replaceable. You can buy them in packs of 2 from Puffco, and they're pretty fairly priced. And then I always use isopropyl alcohol 99% if I can. I recommend anything above 90, and so does Puffco. And I'll do a deep clean, probably once every couple of weeks to a month, depending on how much I'm using it. So yeah, that's the mocha. This thing rips. So I'm gonna just kind of put this to the side here. Out the hot knife. Be careful with these because they are really hot to touch, and I've definitely burnt myself on accident. This is how it comes packaged. This one is one of the limited edition ones, I believe. This is the button to turn it on, and the cap. I will say, I have another one and it works fine, but you really do want to, oh, hold on. See, like this is the warning sticker here that they put on. It is warm to touch, so you will burn yourself if you touch it after using it. So basically, the cover comes off here. This little heating element here, it's a little bit fragile. You're gonna want to be careful with this, okay? It has a great design. The battery lasts long, but you just want to be careful not to damage this tip. And by keeping the lid on it, you can do that. And the case helps a lot with that as well, but I'll get into that in a second. So we have the hot knife here. Let's see, we got just a little USB-C charger. Again, it plugs in here and charges via USB-C. And once it's done charging, the light will turn off on it. So there's that. And then just little instructions on how to use it. It's pretty simple though. All right. When I take dabs, I always wipe this thing off. It's pretty easy to clean. If you just hit the hit the button to turn it on, you'll see the light come on. You can just take a Q-tip and wipe it away. Every now and then you're gonna have to use 98% or higher isopropyl alcohol, but for the most part, as long as you wipe it down after each use, you'll love it. So just keep in mind you could get burned. I've done it a few times, unfortunately, but hey, what are you gonna do? And I've had this also. Now I want to talk about the carrying case. A lot of people are wondering if it's worth it. I personally like it because it has a good amount. You see on the inside, this is where I put my manual. I can just scan it with my phone. And I label everything like a nerd. But you can see here that it has a little trash bin. So when I'm done using my swabs here, you can use glob mops, you can use Puffco stuff, whatever. When I'm done using it, I'll just put it right in here in the trash, kind of close it up. And these are all different strains of rosin that I've made. So these are small, like 1 gram containers, and it holds it pretty well. It's really sturdy. It's got a nice magnetic top. The reason I like it, I'll show you, is because it can hold a lot of stuff. First of all, it keeps everything in one place, so you're not sitting there, where's my rosin? Now where's my pen? Where's my Q-tips? Everything's right here. So you can see that the knife fits in perfect, and the pivot fits in perfectly right above it. And it keeps it secure. I've traveled a lot with this one. It will set off, if you're traveling like through TSA, it will set off metal detectors. I brought it to Disney one time in my bag, and I got searched because they didn't take anything, but this thing will set off metal detectors, so keep that in mind. Not that it's a huge deal. Honestly, it's a good investment. You can choose to have it or not. So yeah, I hope that this review is helpful and the unboxing is helpful for the Puffco Pivot and Mocha portable vape, and then the hot knife. I'm a big fan of Puffco, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Definitely would recommend these to anyone. So this is the end of my review. If you like what you see, please subscribe, give me a follow, throw in the comments if you have any questions. I've had every Puffco device you can imagine, and I love them. Subscribe, like, stay stony, and I hope you all have a great day. Follow me on Instagram, it's the same name, for more content, as well as my YouTube channel. All right, guys. Have a good one.